Hello traders, FXPIPCOLLECTOR here. Today is Wednesday, August 16th, and welcome to today's live stream. Thanks for coming. As always, I really do appreciate the support. And definitely, if you have not done so already, definitely like and subscribe to the channel. It makes a huge difference to push my videos and live streams out to new people. So anyways, let's do as usual, since we really don't have much for news today, at least not right now. Later on today, we have the FOMC meeting minutes at 7 p.m. UK time. That is definitely a big news event, but that's actually quite a few hours from now. So we have quite a bit of time today, so we're going to do as usual. We're going to quickly go through the dollar pairs, the US dollar, and the DXY analysis from the top all the way down to the 1 hour. Then we're going to take that information and apply it to all the other US dollar pairs, including gold. We'll probably go look at the yen pairs, look at Bitcoin, look at a couple of commodities, look at the stock market, and I actually have a pretty good list today from my Patreon members of things to look at, so let's get started right away. So on the DXY on the monthly time frame, I do like to zoom out quite a bit on the DXY, which is why I do use the DXY on the monthly, and then I switch back to the US dollar index from that point down, because I do trust the US dollar index over the DXY because it's equally weighted, unlike the DXY, which is not equally weighted. But I do like it because of the monthly time frame. It has a lot of data. Now you will see that we've definitely made a lower high. We definitely turned at a fib level after making what I think is very clearly three waves up, impulsive down. If this was on any time frame, I would say that right there was the end of a correction, and that this is now going to, over the coming, since we're on the monthly time frame, over the coming months and probably even years, it's probably going to end up continuing the downtrend, eventually going all the way down and taking out this low back here. So now let's switch back to the weekly time frame and switch back to the dollar index. Now on the dollar index, I do think it is very clear that this is a downtrend, that it most likely is a wave 1. I still think this is an A, B, C, D, and now we're in a wave E. I think this is going to go out to the 50, but we are close to the 38, so we're going to have to see how it reacts there, because price definitely has reacted there twice already, so it definitely could react at that point again. But I do think we're in an uptrend. I think we're in a wave E, and I'm not really thinking that the wave E is over yet. I still expect to see some more waves to the upside before we end what I think is a 1, a 2, and then go down for a big wave 3. So let's take a look at that on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, I do believe this right here is an uptrend. I think it's an A, and then this is clearly 1, 2, 3 waves down if you look, and that makes it a correction, a wave B. This is a trend, wave C, and then at the end of a wave C, we sort of had the continuation of the downtrend, but instead it made 1, 2, 3 waves down again. I think that right there is a wave D, and that we are now in a wave E. Like I said, I think the 38% could cause some resistance, and possibly, since price has respected this level already a couple times, possibly it could end the correction right there. I was actually thinking that it would go out and take out all these highs and maybe end up looking something like this, but a lot of these dollar pairs don't really look like they're going to stretch out for that long, but they definitely could, so we're going to have to see what happens over the coming weeks. But to me, it does seem like this is the most likely thing to happen. Finish off a wave 2 and then go down for a wave 3. So let's keep that in mind. Let's head down to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, to me, it still looks like this is probably in a correction, and I'm not really convinced that the correction is even over yet. I got my Fibonacci retracement on here because I definitely see that we have a lower high. That tells me that this wave right here of this trend is most likely over, and I think this is actually most likely going to go down again. I don't really think that we're already back into an uptrend, and if this is possibly a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which it possibly is, then this very easily could make actually a pretty big move down. And if it's actually the end of a wave E, which I'm not really convinced it is, then it would actually just keep on trending down. So anyways, let's take it down to the 1 hour time frame. So on the 1 hour time frame, it definitely looks like a three-way pattern down, ABC, and then it made like what looks to me more like a three-way pattern to the upside, wave D. This is probably a wave E. It seems like it was trying to end the correction and go up, but after looking at all the dollar pairs, I'm not really convinced that we're actually going up yet in a big way. We don't really have a 38% fib bounce either. I mean, I think this is more likely to go down to one of these fib levels to finish off this corrective pattern before it actually does end up going up again, probably to at least this 38% Fibonacci retracement level. So we'll have to see. I mean, it definitely could be already be an ABCDE, and it could possibly go up and continue the uptrend, but I think that is kind of unlikely. It looks more likely to me that this is actually going to keep on going down, probably go down to one of these lower fib levels. So now let's take that information and let's apply that information to all the other the US dollar pairs, including gold, because that's what I do. I do the full top-down analysis on the US dollar index. I try to figure out what the US dollar itself is doing as a currency, and then I try to figure out how that applies to all these other US dollar pairs. It's like a roadmap to help me trade all the other US dollar pairs. So let's take a look at it on the euro dollar and see what's up with that. I think the euro dollar is getting ready to go back up. But as we go down to sort of time frames on the daily on the euro dollar, it still looks to me like this is like an ABCDE. Now it could possibly already have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of these pairs do kind of look like they may already have a trend. But it kind of seems to me like we do need to go down a little more, at least to this 100% Fibonacci extension to finish off this move down before we actually do end up continuing the uptrend. And then that would line up almost perfectly with this trend line that I have right here, which I like to call a trend line a correction line because they work a lot better on corrections than they do on trends. So anyways, let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, I got my Fibonacci retracement as of this last move down. It definitely looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we have a complete 5-wave trend. I think this on this time frame, it looks clear that this is an A, that this is probably a B, and we're probably going up for a wave C. On the shorter time frames, it kind of looked like it already made an ABC, but on this time frame, I think this is where the clarity is, and I think it's going to make a proper ABC correction that at least goes up to one of these higher fibs, and I think we're going to have another push to the downside. So taking it down to the 1-hour time frame, so I think that this is actually not very accurate. I think that the ABC is actually right here. So that right there is actually probably the ABC. So let me change this up real quick so we can see it on the 4-hour. Because if you look, even though this is a very overlapping pattern, it's definitely a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 waves, so it probably is a wave A. This move down has very clearly 3 waves, so that's probably a wave B, and we are most likely going up for a wave C, which I think is going to go up to one of these higher fib levels. I think the 61.8 is a pretty likely level because of all the support we've had around that area in the past. So I think there's a good chance it could go up quite a ways to finish off an ABC correction before it actually does end up continuing down. So depending on what time frame you trade on, I mean, if you trade below the 1 hour, you could definitely be looking for longs right now. If you trade above the 1 hour, you're probably going to be waiting for the end of this correction, or you're going to be going long here and waiting for the end of this correction to exit your long and go short for the continuation of this bigger downtrend on the longer time frames. Hey Robin, how's it going? Hey Azeb, how's it going today? Let's check out the pound, because I think the pound is actually a little more clear, and I think the pound is actually going to go up a little bit further too. So the pound is the one that keeps making me think that the dollar could be turning down in a bigger way than we actually expect it to, because I do see a very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. I do see that it is respecting these fib levels. If this goes up and takes out structure, I think that could be the end of this whole correction, and it could be the continuation of the uptrend. Hey Yatin, how's it going today? So hey Dev, how's that going? So going out to the 4-hour time frame, this is where you can kind of break this down. It looks like a 1, 2, this looks like a 3, this looks like a 4, and this looks like a 5. So it really looks like we already have a complete trend right here, which is why I'm actually starting to think more and more that this is going to go up, it is going to break structure. And then from there, it's either going to continue the uptrend like that, or it's possibly going to make a correction to this whole move down. If this is really the end of this trend, then it probably is going to end up continuing the uptrend, so we have to be aware of that, definitely. So taking it down to the 1 hour time frame, I still have it marked as an ABC because a lot of the other dollar pairs do look like they still need to go down again. So, and if you look at this also has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside of it, so that probably is an A. This is probably a three-way pullback for a wave B, and it seems to me like we are still going up for a wave C. But if it does go up and if it does bounce off this fib level, make a big engulfing impulsive move to the downside, I would definitely take that as a sorting opportunity for the end of a potential wave C and potentially the continuation of the downtrend. Now, on the other hand, if it does keep going up and if it does take out that high, then I definitely at that point would stop looking for shorts primarily, and I would start looking for longs for sure. So right now, I mean, I'm still looking at this as possibly being a correction, but, you know, within the next day or so, if it takes out this high, that definitely will change that for sure. So heading down to the daily on the Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar definitely has a little bit of a five-way pattern too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not really at a fib level, and we don't see any break of structure or anything, which is why I still think that this needs to go down again, and I still think that most of the dollar pairs probably need to go down again also. Some of the dollar pairs look like this is actually a wave 3, and then we're going to go up and make a 4, and then go down and make a 5, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, before, and then go down to this 78% Fibonacci extension before we actually do end up continuing back up, all part of this ABCDE. So let's take it down to the 4 hour time frame. It does kind of seem like that would fit on this one too, for this to be a trend for the 1. This is like an ABC of 2, and this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave 3. And we're now getting ready to go up and make a wave 4, which would probably be around the same size as wave 2, and then down again to that 78% fib level, which you can just barely see right here for the wave 5, like a 4 and a 5. It definitely seems like that is the most likely thing, because it doesn't really seem to me like the dollar is finished, or really the pound dollar is really the only one to me that looks like it could possibly be finished. And that's probably because of the pound, not because of the dollar, so it probably is going to go down again, I would say. Now, the Kiwi is actually even more convincing that we're still in a wave 3. It's the same pattern as the Aussie with the A, B, C, 3 waves up for a D, and now we're probably in a 1, 2, 3 of wave E. I think it's going to go up and make a 4 and a 5 and go down and end up looking like this for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of wave E. Probably bounce out to 61.8 and then go up, break structure, and probably end up continuing the uptrend. Which is why I'm wondering if the dollar really is going to turn at that 38% and not make it all the way up to the 50% like I was showing at the beginning of this live stream. So let's see here. So let's move it down to the 4 hour time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, it makes a lot of sense for me if this right here is actually a trend for a wave 1, this is like an ABC of 2, and that this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave 3. And we're getting ready to go up, but that move up is actually going to be another correction like a wave 4, and then it goes down to the 61% for that wave 5. I definitely think that is what's going to happen, and like I said, it would make a lot of sense. It kind of lines up with everything else also. So taking it down to the 1 hour time frame, we do have a little bit of a structure break right here. It pretty much instantly rejected structure, but this could be like a 1, this could be a 2, and it could go up and make a 3, 4, 5 of wave A. Maybe not quite that big, but pretty much something like that, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, and then make a B, and then make a wave C. And this is all going to be like an ABC of wave 4, and then eventually head back down for that wave 5. So that definitely seems pretty likely that that is the most likely thing to happen on that one. So let's check out the US dollar Canadian, which I don't really think this one is quite finished yet either. What happened to that fib level I had? I must have taken it off. Let's put our Fibonacci back on there, measuring this whole move from top to bottom, because it probably is a correction to this whole move. Probably is a correction to this whole move down. There we go. So, I mean, this is definitely a trend. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like a trend, that's for sure. It does kind of look like it should go down, but I think this is going to end up being one of those irregular ABC crescents. It's going to make an A, that's going to go down and make kind of a small wave B, and then it's going to go up and touch the 61% for a wave C, and then from there it's going to continue the downtrend. It kind of seems to me like that's what's going to happen on the US dollar Canadian, based on looking at all other US dollar pairs and comparing them, correlated pairs. I think that someplace in here we got a 1, this is like an ABC of 2, this is a big wave 3, this looks like an ABC of 4, and this big move up right here is probably a wave 5. If it does go down and break structure, we'll know that that wave 5 is over, and then I think we're going to go down and make a pretty good size correction, which would at least take out the low of wave 4 for an ABC of wave B, and then probably go up to that 61% for that wave C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, ABC of B, and then back up for the wave C. So let's keep going down to the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, we really don't know exactly which Fibonacci level it's going to bounce at, but a lot of the times I just try to line up, which Fibonacci has the most support and resistance in the past, and that can help a lot also. But yeah, you don't really know which Fibonacci it's going to bounce at. It really could bounce at any of them, honestly. So going down to the sort of time frames, this looks like a 3, this looks like an ABC of 4, and this looks like a wave 5. And it kind of makes a lot of sense that it's overlapping, because wave 5s quite often are overlapping. I think this is a 3, I think we already got a 4 in there, and I think this is a wave 5. I think we are going to go down, break structure, it's going to be the end of a wave A, and I think we're probably going to make a pretty good sized move to the downside for an ABC of B. So I am expecting to see a structure break today. I think it's pretty likely that it's going to happen. And that's going to confirm that we're at least going to go down and make a bigger move to the downside, most likely like a wave B, I would say. So US dollar Swiss. Yeah, US dollar Swiss is actually a little bit different. I still think the US dollar Swiss is a correction to this move down. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to me. It kind of looks like it's already made an ABC correction, honestly, A, B, and C. It still seems to me like it needs to go up a little more to touch a Fibonacci level before it actually does go down. So I'm not really convinced that this is over yet either. I think it could go down a little, but then it's going to go up. It kind of seems like this, on this time frame, it kind of seems like this is an A. This spike right here is the A of B. This move up right here is like a B of B, and then it's going to go down and make a C of B, and then back up to make the original wave C. So A, B, C of B, and then back up for a C. Lots of ABCs and stuff in there, so hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Because look how corrective this move up is. I mean, it's so overlapping. And this move down right here is definitely a 5-wave trend. I think that's a wave A. I think this move up is a wave A. I think this very overlapping pattern right here is a wave B. I think it's going to go down and probably take out this low for a wave C. And this is an ABC of B, I bet. Once this ABC of B is complete, I think it's going to go up to this 50% level for the wave C. Then we'd have a complete A, a complete B, and a complete C, and then we would have a Fibonacci bounce, and then it would probably end up continuing the big downtrend that we would see on the weekly and monthly time frame. 1 hour time frame, if we go down and break structure, I think that's going to pretty much confirm that it's over. We haven't really broken structure yet, so I can't really say for sure, but it does seem to me like it will break structure. And this is probably going to turn into a pretty good sized downtrend for like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of wave C according to the longer time frames. We really need to see that break of structure to really help confirm it, but that does seem very likely that that is what's going to happen with that. Let's go to the US dollar yen. Now the US dollar yen, I always kind of consider the dollar yen more of a yen pair than a dollar pair. It seems to me like the yen definitely moves it more than the dollar does. Now, obviously the dollar moves it too, but I definitely consider this more of a yen pair than a dollar pair personally. So I think this first uptrend right here is a wave 1. I think this is like an ABC, like a wave 2. I think this is a 1, 2, 3, and I don't think the wave 3 is over. I think we are going up quite a ways to finish off a wave 3, 4, and wave 5. especially looking at all yen pairs. It seems very likely that we got at least a couple weeks of uptrend left on the yen, on pretty much all the yen pairs. So taking it down to the 4-hour time frame, I think this is impulsive up, wave 1. This is ABC down, wave 2. I think this is all part of a wave 3. I think there is a chance that it could possibly go down, but it's probably just going to be a correction within a wave 3, like a 103, a 203, and then go up for a wave 3 of 3. So I don't really think there's any reason to think that this is going down in a big way. We don't even have a structure break yet, so we can't even say that there's a correction started. We are at a fib level, extension level, so that could be an area of resistance. It could possibly make a move down, but I think it's more likely that it will continue to trend up, especially on like the daily time frame. So taking it down to the 1-hour time frame. So 1-hour time frame, I mean, it definitely does kind of have a series of three-wave patterns right here. It looks like 3 waves down, looks like 3 waves up. But this may not be over yet. It just may be in the middle of a bigger pattern. I mean, I don't see any break of structure. If it does go down and break structure, then we'll know that this section of trend is over, and it probably would go down and make a little bit of a bigger correction before it went up again. But we don't even know that this is over yet. And the fact that it hasn't broken structure tells me that I am definitely still looking for longs in an uptrend. If this does go down, I'm definitely still looking to go long at the end of pullbacks for the continuation of the uptrend for sure. At least until I see a break of structure, and if I see that break of structure, then I will actually start looking for shorts again. But I'll also be looking for shorts knowing that I'm probably in a correction on the longer time frames. So let's go check out gold. I think gold is due for a move up too. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it definitely hasn't confirmed it yet. It seems to me like gold is going to go down to the 78% minimum. I mean, it looks to me like this is like a downtrend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is probably like an ABC, and this is like a 1, 2, 3. Probably going to go down and make a 4 and a 5 like that. 78% before we see a bounce and a structure break and potentially continue the uptrend. I did kind of change my analysis on this a little bit because it's pretty clear that this is a trend. It's pretty clear that this is a trend and this move up is 3 waves. So that's why I think even though this is a higher high, I think that's a wave 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this move up I think is an ABC right there, and then I think it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave C. So let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. I actually think that this 1 and 2 is right here. Let me change this up a little bit real quick. I mean, it could possibly be right here too, but either way, I think that this is in a wave C right now, a wave 3, like a 1, 2, 3. It does kind of seem like it could possibly go up and finally make a bigger correction like a wave 4 and then go down for a wave 5. But, I mean, we really don't even have any proof of that yet. I mean, the most recent structure level is right there. And we definitely don't have a structure break telling me that this very easily could just keep on going down, all part of a big wave 3. So, no, you didn't miss the pound yen yet. No, we're going to go look at those shortly. So, I definitely, at least until I see a structure break to the upside, I'm definitely still looking to trade short for sure. Our most recent structure is right here, and it kind of looks to me that this is actually a wave A. It looks to me like this made 3 waves down like it's a wave B. If that's the case, then this is probably going to go up and break structure, but that structure break is going to be a wave C, and then it's going to go down again. It seems very likely to me, especially with these 3 waves down. 1, 2, 3. And then this is definitely impulsive up. This looks like it's getting ready to make another impulsive up for a wave C. So I think it's very, very likely that this is an ABC, and once this wave C is over, which it probably will take out the high of wave A, we will most likely have the continuation of the downtrend from that point, I do believe. So let's go check out those yen pairs and see what's up with that. Hey Adele, how's it going? Nice to see you. So let's go check out those yen pairs and see what's going on with those. I think that the yen pairs are in a wave 5. But I don't think the wave 5 is over. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, and eventually it's going to go up and make a 4 and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think that these yen pairs definitely have a couple weeks of uptrend left in them. for sure. Going down to the sort of time frames, this is where I see what it looks to me like a wave 1. This is probably an ABC of 2. I think we're in a wave 3 right now. Maybe this is like a 1 of 3 and a 2 of 3, but either way, I mean, I think this is trending up. Oops, that's an awful 3. And I think that this is going to continue to trend. And I definitely am continuing to look for longs on sort of time frames for sure. 1 hour time frame, we got a couple nice little pullbacks. We got an ABC right here. We got an ABC right there. Definitely still looking for long, so if it does make another pullback, then that's exactly what I'm looking for, is more long entries for the continuation of this uptrend. 100%. So the pound yen, kind of the same thing, except for the pound news actually caused this to go up even more today. This one looks kind of convincing that the wave 3 is definitely not over, but more towards the end of a wave 3. I was thinking that this could possibly respect this level and make a 4 and a 5 right here, and then go down and make a bigger correction. But I mean, we don't really know that for sure. Just like I was saying before, we don't know that this fib level is going to be respected. It could possibly go right past here and just keep on going, which is why I always just continue to look for trades in the direction of the higher time frames, at least until the market tells me otherwise, which it definitely has not done so yet. I think this is very clearly a 1, this first push up. I think this is very clearly a wave 2, and I think we're very clearly in a wave 3. Hey, Truff. Yeah, I already have the pound Swiss on my list for things to look at. One of my Patreon members wanted me to look at it, so we're definitely going to look at that towards the second half of this meeting. So I think we're in a wave 3, and I definitely don't see any sign that this wave 3 is over. I definitely am looking for longs, especially on shorter time frames. So going down to the, oh, that was you. Okay, cool. Yeah, we definitely got you. I got the pound Swiss. I got a whole list of things to look at. So, and with pound Swiss is actually towards the top of the list. You must have been one of the first ones to request. So we have 3 waves down. Look at that, 3 waves down. Bam, that was a very, very nice long entry today at the CPI pound news. 1, 2, 3 waves down. The pound news came out. Bam, nice uptrend. And I'm still looking for long, so if it does go down, I'm not going to go short. Instead, I'm going to go long at the end of the pullback again and just keep on making money the whole way up. While everybody else is worried about when the Bank of Japan is going to step in and going to drive this thing down, I'm just going to keep on going long every chance I get and just keep raking in the money. I'm not too worried about the Bank of Japan because I can see just by looking at the charts that it's probably going to be at least several weeks, maybe even a month or more, before we really have to worry about the Bank of Japan stepping in and intervening with the currency. So a lot of these other ones are pretty similar. The Aussie has been so weak that I don't really think I'd be looking for longs on this one, but it does look to me like it is probably going to start drifting up a little, and I definitely, like I said, I don't really think I would choose the Aussie yen to go long on. If I was trying to go short on some yen pairs, I would definitely choose the Aussie to go short, but I don't really think I would go long on it. Honestly, if this goes up and makes 3 waves up and positive down, I would just go short again. I mean, it does kind of look like on the longer time frames it could just keep on drifting up, but I don't really think the Aussie has really found its strength yet. So I'm not really convinced that I want to go long on the Aussie or the Kiwi. I think there's much better choices if you do want to go long, like the pound, the euro, maybe the CAD and the Swiss. Going down to the sort of time frames, yeah, I mean, this is starting to look more like an ABC than a 1, 2, 3 to me. I think there's a good chance that this could go up more, but it kind of looks to me like it could actually go down again in a big way. So, I mean, I don't really think I want to go long on the Aussie or the Kiwi. The other yen pairs are a different story, though. The Canadian yen, I think it's actually very clear that we're in a wave 5 on the Canadian yen also. This looks like a 1, this looks like a 2, this looks like a big wave 3. I think that's an ABC of 4. I think we're in a wave 5, and I still think it's going to go up and take out this high to finish off that wave 5. So I'm definitely still looking for longs on the Canadian yen. I think this is a good choice to try to go long on for sure. So going down to the shorter time frames, I think this is the ABC of 4. I think this is a 1. I think this is a 2. This is a big ABC of 2 right there. And I think we're in a wave 3, and I definitely would continue to look for longs in an uptrend. If I see any pullbacks, those are good because I'm not going to be trying to go short, but instead I'm going to be going long at the end of every pullback that I see for the continuation of this uptrend. I still believe we're in a wave 3 of wave 5. And wave 5s do quite often have very choppy patterns, which is why I think some of these yen pairs do have a very choppy pattern, because a lot of them look like they're in a wave 5. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, look at this pattern. 1, 2, 3 waves down, impulsive up, go long. 1, 2, 3 waves down, go long. 1, 2, 3 waves down, go long. 1, 2, 3 waves down, go long. I am definitely looking for longs in an uptrend. If I see a pullback, I am not going to go short, but instead I'll be excited about going long at the end of the pullback for the continuation of the uptrend. Swiss yen, kind of the same thing, but for some reason the Swiss is a little bit weaker all of a sudden. It still looks to me like we're in a big 1, 2, 3, and there's definitely no sign that the wave 3 is even over. So I mean, I would definitely still be looking for longs on this for sure. I don't even see that the end of the wave 3 is started. I think that we still need to finish a 4 and a 5 just to finish off this uptrend. So I definitely don't think there's any reason to think this is over. At least until we start getting some significant structure breaks to the downside, I am definitely only looking for longs in an uptrend still. The market will tell us when it's time to look for shorts, and it definitely hasn't told us that yet, so I think we need to continue to look for longs. I think this is an A. This does look like a B right there, and it does look like this is a wave C. I still think there's a very good likelihood this is going to go up, probably at least one more time. Now, on the other hand, if it does go down and start breaking structure, that's a different story. But yeah, I do believe we're going up, and I don't really see any reason to do anything yet. Until we at least see a break of structure, I don't see any reason to do anything except for look for longs in an uptrend. So yeah, we will look at the dollar pairs again, but we already looked at all the dollar pairs once, and I will go look at the dollar pairs again, but not until towards the end of our meeting. So let's go look at Bitcoin, and then we're going to look at a couple commodities, we'll look at a couple indexes, and then we will get to the list of pairs that I have here, which is a pretty good list. Bitcoin still hasn't made its move up that I've been waiting for. I still think this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. I still think this already made a wave B. I still think it needs to go up and make a wave C to at least one of these higher Fibonacci levels. That's why my charts are all messed up too. I still got this in logarithmic. There we go. I don't really like it like that. That's better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up again for the C. I think it's going to go up to at least a 50% before we potentially get another move to the downside, which I do think we will get another big move to the downside. I'm expecting that this is going to go down someplace between the $12,000 and $8,000 area, someplace in here. So I do think that there's a very, very good likelihood that we are going to go down again on all these really. So I still believe this is a wave 1, and I still believe we're in a crescent, and I still believe at some point this is going to suit up and make that wave 3. It doesn't look like it's quite ready yet. I thought it was ready the other day. It still could be very close. Let me get rid of this. It still kind of looks like it. I mean, maybe that's an ABC right there, though. Yeah, it definitely could be. This definitely could be an ABC right there, and maybe it's making another wave of the crescent. But at some point, I do believe this is going to make a big move up, but I guess it's not quite ready for that yet. Yeah, that does look like an ABC right there, so I bet it is. 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. That's definitely an ABC, isn't it? Now we're probably going to continue to drift down. 1 hour time frame. Yeah, we are at the 78% now, which is potentially an area. I mean, if it does turn up and break structure, that would convince me that this is a big correction, and I definitely would be prepared to go long for sure. But I would have to definitely see a big structure break and a big bounce to believe it, because otherwise it kind of looks to me like it's made an ABC crescent on the 4 hour time frame, and that it might just keep on going down It actually seems pretty likely that it's just going to keep going down. Oil, what did oil do? Oh, it did end that wave A, didn't it? Nice. Whoops. It definitely ended a wave A, I think. Now we should be in a wave B. And a wave B is probably going to be a crutch into the whole wave A. This right here is the wave A. So, what do I got going on here? I don't really want that. Let's get rid of that for now. And let's put a Fibonacci from here to here. And most likely we're in a wave B right now. I think it's very clear actually we're in a wave B. I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. I think this is an A, B, C of B. Probably going down to one of these fib levels before it continues back up for a wave C. So I definitely would be looking for shorts on oil for sure, 100%. Just lost all that stuff. We want to see these on the shorter time frames. Here we go. So yeah, I think it's pretty clear that we just ended a wave A. I think we're going to keep on trending down for a pretty good size wave B. I mean, I think this is at least going to go down to like the 50 or the 61.8, I would say. One of these levels. So that means we have a pretty decent amount of downside potential left. 1 hour time frame, it looks like we just made an ABC correction a few hours ago. That is definitely an ABC right there. Look at that. That was a short. I bet this is going down still. It kind of looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 though, so it may be getting pretty close to being over. At least the first section of trend is over. I don't think it's over on the longer time frames, but the first section of trend may be getting close to being over. And then go down for a wave C. So let's see, what's natural gas? It's still going down. We were looking at this one pretty intensely at our meeting yesterday, trying to figure out if we're going back into a downtrend or not. I still don't really see. Hey, Waki, yeah, you're just in time. I still can't really tell whether or not we really are going down or not on natural gas. It kind of does look to me like we could be, because I still think this is like a wave 5, whether it's a wave 5 or 3 or whether it's a wave 5 or 5. But to me, this looks like an ABC, kinda. This looks like a big wave B, and this looks like a wave C. I don't know. I mean, I originally was thinking that it would go up, but looking at this right here, I shut my shorts. Looking at this right here, I mean, it definitely looks pretty impulsive. It does kind of look like we may be in a wave 3, honestly. Yeah, that looks more like the shape of a wave 3 than the shape of a wave C. I think we are going to go down. I think we might make a bigger move down than we were expecting originally. It definitely looks like very, very clear downtrend for the 1 or wave A. It definitely could still possibly be a wave A. And then it could definitely still possibly be a wave 2 or a wave B. And now we're in a wave C or a wave 3. If it is a wave C, then it's going to have to bounce off one of these two fibs and go up and break structure and prove that it is a wave C. And if that's the case, then it's going to just keep on trending up, which is still definitely a possibility for sure. But if it is a wave 3, then it's just going to keep making lower highs and just go right past all these areas. And if it does break this structure, that's the daily time frame structure that will tell me that the trend is back down. Right now, I mean, technically on the daily time frame, the trend is definitely 100% still up, which is why this still could be a wave C, and it still could go up and break structure and keep on going. So, I mean, there's really not any way to know right now whether this is a C or a 3. We're going to have to just let the market tell us. And it does kind of resemble that this little drop-based drop is like a 1 and a 2 probably, and this is like a 3, and this is a 4, and this could be a wave 5. So if it does turn up and if it does break structure, that's what will tell us that this is a wave C. So we don't really know for sure yet if this is what's going to happen, which is why I would be a little cautious about trying to go long before you have any confirmation, because just as easy as it could do that, it could just shoot right down again. So definitely be careful. I mean, it kind of looks like it could just keep going. So let's see, we got a big list of requests to get to. So first of all, I got to go look at these indexes. Yeah, we already looked at the daily. The daily looks pretty strong, doesn't it? And I do see, I mean, if this is a 1, 2, 3, then this would be going up strong. It doesn't look like a 1, 2, 3. It looks more like an ABC. Honestly, this daily time frame and the fact that it's so impulsive down is making me think that it may just keep going down. We'll have to see. I mean, like I just showed on the sort of time frames, we should be able to tell whether it's a C or a 3, but on this higher time frame, I mean, it does look like it's going down. I definitely see 1, 2, 3 waves up, impulsive turn right after a break of structure. So be cautious with this one, definitely. It's not really clear. The direction is not really clear. I mean, on the daily, I think it's getting clearer that it may be going down, but on the sort of time frames, it's definitely not that clear whether we're in a wave 3 or a wave C. It kind of looks like it wants to turn up, so if it does go up and break structure, that's what will tell us it's a wave C. If it doesn't, then we'll know it's not a wave C. So I got a few things to look at on the index. I got to look at the JP225. Do I have? Yeah, I have it right here, right? Yeah. Now this is something I haven't looked at in a very long time, so you might have to kind of bear with me a little bit. Boy, definitely looks awful corrective. Definitely looks like we're going down. This is probably a 1 over here someplace. Like a 1 and a 2. This is probably a 3. This looks like an ABC of 4. And this looks like a wave 5, even though it's a lower high. I think this is going down still. Probably going to go down and make a pretty good size move down while the yen pairs continue to move to the upside. And then eventually it probably will go up again, but it doesn't really look like it's ready for that yet. Yeah, that's definitely a correction right there. This is either an A or a 1. This is either an ABC of B or an ABC of 2. And I think we're in a wave 3 or wave C. So either way, I definitely think the trend is still down and that we should continue to look for shorts in a downtrend. Why do I have so many fibs here? I think I got to get rid of one of these, probably this one. Yeah. So I would expect it to at least go down to the 38% minimum, so I think we should be looking for shorts in a downtrend, for sure. I think that makes a lot of sense that the JPY basket's going down, this one's going down too. Or is that not right? I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure about the correlation between these two, but it definitely looks like a 1, 2, 3 that doesn't look like it's over. Either a wave C or a wave 3 possibly. 1, 2, still in a wave 3. Eventually if it makes a 4 and a 5 and then breaks structure, that's what will tell us that it's a wave C. Or if it just keeps making lower lows, lower highs, we'll know that it's a wave 3. I would have to compare this to the JPY basket to see how they correlated. I know the yen pairs have been going up for quite some time, and this one's kind of been drifting down for quite some time, so it'd make a lot of sense because I think that the JPY pairs have at least maybe 2 or 3 weeks of trend left in them. It'd make a lot of sense if this had a few weeks of downtrend before it actually went up again. So I think that it makes a lot of sense that this is going to go down to at least a 38%, maybe even a little bit lower. And this is actually probably a wave 1, honestly. 1, 2. This is a 3, 4, 5 of A. I bet this is what's going to happen. ABC probably down to like the 50 or something, and then continue the uptrend. That would make a lot of sense because I think that would line up pretty well with what the JPY pairs are doing. What's the S&P 500 up to? Still in a wave 4, I think. Still in a wave A of wave 4, too. Eventually, it's probably going to start to drift up for a B and then down for a C, and then I think it's going to go up and make a wave 5. So I think the stock market is definitely going to go up one more time, but I'm one of those people that believe that the stock market is due for a huge move to the downside, like a very, very big move down. I think it's going to go up and probably till next year, because next year is an election year in the US, and then it's going to go down big, big time, probably at least down to the 3,200, maybe even a little bit lower. I don't really know what's going to cause it. Probably we'll go into a recession or something in the US. Definitely still a trend, so I would definitely still be looking for shorts. Looks like a wave A. Eventually it's going to go up and make a B, and then probably down for a C, and then back up. Maybe it's getting close to ending. I mean, it definitely looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. I don't see any structure break on any of these really, though. There's just kind of like a slow drift down. So I think I would, at least until I see this break, I think I would still be looking for shorts in a downtrend for sure. So let's go look at some other Forex pairs, because I do have a pretty big list to get to today. So let's go look at the pound Swiss and the pound Aussie and a bunch of other things. So just recently, one of my members had me look at this, and we've been in a channel for a very, very long time on this. Big time channel. And I was telling my Patreon member that if it makes a bounce off the bottom of the channel, it's probably going to be a nice long. I mean, I don't know when this is going to break out of this channel. I mean, maybe it's just going to keep on going for now. I definitely would want to be long right now and trying to trade it up to the top of the channel again. I mean, until this actually breaks out one way or the other, we can't really say too much of a direction on the higher time frames. I think eventually it is going to break up to the upside. I do believe eventually it is going to break up. But when? Yeah, that's kind of a different question. So going down to the 4-hour time frame. Oh, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go up and break structure, I would say, for sure, and probably make our way up towards the top of this channel. So I definitely would be looking for longs right now for sure at the end of pullbacks, definitely, 100%. 1-hour time frame, definitely looking for pullbacks. If it goes down, I wouldn't go short, but I instead would be looking for longs at the end of pullbacks. Definitely just continue to look for longs. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have time to look at the Nifty today, because I have about 10 pairs that I had to look at for my Patreon members. So, sorry about that. I always have to get to my Patreon members' requests first. If anybody is interested in becoming a Patreon member, then the link for that is in the chats, and it's going to be in the description here in a second. It comes with a meeting every single morning, every single weekday morning at 9:15 a.m. I do a meeting for my Patreon members where we go over the dollar pairs and the yen pairs. It comes with a 35 video course, 7.5 hours of videos, and it comes with a bunch of educational information, and we do 2 Zoom meetings a week for the Patreon members where I teach. So you definitely get a lot for your money, and if not, then you definitely can join my Discord channel, because my Discord channel is 100% free. You never have to pay a dime to join my Discord channel. It's 100% free. You can stay a free member for as long as you want, and I think we finally broke 4,000. We did. We have 4,011 members on Discord. So we're getting to be a very, very large community. So definitely join the trading community. Join up, post pictures of your charts, talk to other traders, talk about charts and trade ideas. The more the merrier, and it's 100% free to join. No obligations to ever pay a dime. Pound Aussie, I already know this one because we've looked at this one quite a bit. Yeah, very active group too, definitely. So I already know that this is a 1, 2, and a 3, and we definitely want to continue to look for longs on the Pound Aussie, 100% for sure. I mean, really, look at this. I would definitely just continue to look for longs in an uptrend on this 100%. So, yeah. Hey, Yana, how's it going today? So I am looking for pullbacks. I'm looking for three-way pullbacks. ABC down, go long. ABC down, go long. This is more like a B, C, D, E, but still same type of thing. If it goes down, that's great for us because at the end of an ABC correction, I will go long again for the continuation of the uptrend, for sure. So the pound Aussie and the Euro Aussie are pretty much the same thing. The Euro Aussie I know is pretty much in the same situation, except for the pound is a little bit stronger right now. But I think we're in a wave 3 on the Euro Aussie too, and I definitely would just continue to look for longs on this one too, 100%. Definitely. Yeah, for sure. I would definitely be looking for pullbacks to go long. I definitely don't see any reason to think this is over. At least until I see a significant break of structure to the downside, I would definitely be doing nothing but looking for longs in an uptrend. The pound Aussie and the Euro Aussie are very, very similar. 1, 2, 3 waves down, go long. 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 If it goes up and then later on comes down again, makes another three-way pattern, I would definitely just continue to go long in an uptrend for sure. 100%. Just continue to go long. Really no reason to think that these trends are over. So, yeah, Euro Aussie and pound Aussie, definitely looking for longs. Now, we have a few Aussie pairs to look at. We have the Aussie Swiss and the Aussie Canadian. I don't really think I would be betting against the Aussie going down right now, that's for sure. I think we're in a wave 3 on this one, honestly. I mean, originally I was thinking that it would make a higher low, but I think it's pretty clear that we're in a wave 3 and that we need to just keep on going short every chance we get on the shorter time frames. Every time we get a pullback, we want to just keep on going short, 100%. So going down to the shorter time frames, I mean, look at this, lower high, lower high. This is all just lower highs the whole way down. So at least until we get a break of structure, I would definitely be doing nothing but going short on these shorter time frames, 100%. So if it does go up, that's good because if it makes another lower high, I would just keep going short. Definitely no reason to think it's over, and I still think we're in a wave 3 right now, so look at that. 1, 2, 3 waves up, go short. 1, 2, 3 waves up, go short. 1, 2, 3 waves up, go short. This one wasn't really a three-way pattern, but it was, in hindsight, it was a good short. 1, 2, 3 waves up, go short. 1, 2, 3 waves up, impulse it down, go short again. At least until we get a break of structure on like the 4-hour time frame, I would definitely just continue to look for shorts. I believe we're in a wave 3 on like the weekly time frame. Definitely tells me that there's really nothing to do but look for shorts in a downtrend. Aussie Canadian. I'll get rid of that for now. Now this is another one where I was originally thinking that it was going to go up and it was going to make a higher low, but boy, these Aussie pairs are not giving up on their weakness. I don't really think that it's over yet. I mean, we're past the 78% now, and usually, at least when it comes to Forex pairs, usually if they go past the 78%, that means that this is not a correction and that it will go down and take out this low. So I definitely think I would be looking for shorts on this one too. It looks like it's about ready to make a pullback, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like it's about ready to make a move up. But I definitely think this move up is going to be another correction. Another three-way pullback and another continuation on the downtrend. Look at that. 1, 2, 3 waves up, go short. 1, 2, 3 waves up, go short. Nice. Very, very nice. Definitely continue to look for shorts on this one. 100%. Ooh, we made a higher low right there, so we may already be in a wave C. That's probably a wave A. This is probably a wave B with the higher low. We're probably going up for a wave C. If it goes up, it makes a lower high, makes an impulsive move down, takes out structure, I would definitely take that as a short. No reason at all to think that this is over. And there's no reason at all to even think about going long. I mean, yeah, possibly you could have gone long at the end of this wave B with the higher low, but you would have to enter long knowing that this is a counter trend move and that it probably is just going to go up and take out this high, make a lower high here, and just keep on going down. So I don't really see any reason to think that any of these pairs are over. So we're going to switch back to the dollar pairs. I have a dollar pair that I forgot to look at for one of my members too, so we got to go back and check that out. The US dollar Chinese dollar. The US dollar Wang or whatever it's called, Yang. It looks like we're in a wave 5 on the weekly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're definitely coming into the zone where wave 5 could possibly end. Usually what I have here is I have my Fibonacci extension measuring this wave. Whoops, that's a highlighter. I have my Fibonacci extension measuring this wave, and then I have it projecting out the bottom of this wave, because a wave 5 normally does go to 100% of wave 1. So, I mean, it definitely could turn at to 78% too, so keep an eye on it. But it kind of looks like it needs to go up more and then probably end up going down. So what time frame would we have to watch? Probably about the 4 hour. I mean, if this goes up, bounces off here, makes a 3, 4, 5 shape, and then breaks structure to the downside, I would say that that would be the end of a trend. And if that's the end of a trend, that's probably the end of a wave 5. And if that's the end of a wave 5, this thing is going down in a big way. Which would make a lot of sense, because I think the dollar needs to do something very similar. So that would make a lot of sense, honestly. I think we need to go up a little bit more, but we may be getting very close to ending a wave 3, going down to make a big wave 4, and then going up to make a wave 5, and then bouncing off maybe to 78 again, breaking structure and proving that this trend is over. So I think we're getting pretty close to ending this pattern. Seems like it, at least. So let's go up and see what the US dollar is up to, which is really not a whole lot. Very, very slow. One of my members was telling me that has been trading for a while, that he said he's had a note on his desk for the last couple of years that we to not really do a whole lot of trading in August because it's so much lack of volatility. And I'm starting to agree, honestly. I mean, there's definitely been some good trends this month, but there's also been a lot of consolidation, a lot of overlapping patterns. Trying to figure out whether this is going to go up or not, I guess, is the challenge right now. I mean, even if it does end up going down, I think it at least needs to go up and touch this. Hey, Mark, how's it going, buddy? Hey, Benny, how's it going? Yeah, definitely a little bit of a lack of volume right now in the dollar, at least. Some of the other pairs, Forex pairs, are moving nicely, but I don't really think this trend is over on the higher time frames. And it definitely has a A, B, C, D, E shape, so maybe it is preparing to go up. I don't know. I was originally thinking that it would go down to one of these lower fibs, which I think is still probably the best bet. I think it is going to go down to at least one of these lower fibs. Maybe this is the end of a wave 3 and it's going to make a wave 4 and then go up for a wave 5. Kind of hard to tell for sure, honestly. What's that? I definitely think the euro dollar is going up. I mean, this is very overlapping, but it definitely looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. This looks like 3 waves down for a B. I think this is going to go up to at least a 50% level to make a wave C, maybe even to 61.8. And then I think we're going to go down again, because I'm not convinced that the dollar is actually finished with its move yet. Pound dollar, kind of the same thing in a way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, maybe a 1. Kretzen. B, maybe a 2. Honestly, I kind of think this one may even keep going up and break structure, so be careful on this one. If it does bounce out to 78% and make a big engulfing move to the downside, that would definitely convince me to go short, that is the end of a Kretzen and it's a good short. But it kind of looks more likely that this is going up. It kind of looks like a 1, 2. And this is going up to make a 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't really follow the DXY. I personally do not like the DXY at all. I like the US dollar index, but the DXY can definitely be helpful, especially if you're trading the euro dollar. You can look at the DXY and then look at the euro dollar and then look at the DXY. They're exactly the same chart. There's almost no difference at all. So if you trade the euro dollar, then yeah, the DXY is definitely helpful. But if you trade other dollar pairs, I do prefer this FXCM dollar index because it is equally weighted. The DXY is 57% weighted to the euro dollar, which means it's almost exactly the same picture as the euro dollar, but in reverse. You can go to here and go to invert. That right there is exactly what we're seeing on the euro dollar, almost exactly, like literally exactly the same picture as the euro dollar. And then go to the euro dollar. That's exactly the same picture we were just looking at the DXY. That's why when I do my full top-down analysis, you'll probably notice that I use the DXY for the monthly, because the DXY has all kinds of data. The US dollar doesn't. It only goes back to 2011 area. So the DXY is good for the monthly time frame, but as soon as I get to the weekly, I switch back to the dollar index, because I do trust this dollar index way, way more than this DXY. The DXY is, for me, is not the one to look at. Definitely not. I do believe that is only good for the euro dollar. I'm not really sure why people don't use this FXCM dollar index. Pretty much everybody uses the DXY. I'm not really sure why it's so weighted to the euro dollar. If you want to know what the DXY is doing, then just invert the euro dollar. This is the euro dollar. Bam. Now we're looking at the DXY. Pretty much exactly the same picture. So for me, I think personally it's pointless to use the DXY. So I definitely think that the pound is going up still. Man, the Aussie is still kind of drifting down, isn't it? Maybe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's in the final wave of wave 5. Hey, Trading Sock, how's it going today? Yeah, it might be better to definitely wait for some sort of a trend reversal. I do think that this right here hasn't broken structure yet, so I don't really think I'm looking for longs yet. I am definitely still looking for shorts in a downtrend on the Aussie and the Kiwi. Wow, the Canadian's going up. I was long on this too, and I actually ended up getting out of it. Bad choice, I guess. Yesterday when we had that Canadian news, we went down and broke structure. I actually got out of this. So yeah, that's alright though. I mean, we're definitely still going up. I think we're going up to the 61.8 on the higher time frames. I still think this is going to go up and touch this 61.8, so definitely still looking for longs on the US dollar Canadian. US dollar Swiss, I think there's a good chance this one could make a higher low and keep drifting up also. US dollar yen, I'm definitely looking for longs on that, but that's more of a yen thing than anything. And I was thinking that gold would actually go up again, because it looks like an A, it looks like B. I was thinking that gold would actually do this, make a C, and then go back down again. Definitely seems pretty likely. Silver kind of looks like it already made it ABC, and that it's already going down, so maybe gold is going to keep going down. I mean, it's not like they do exactly the same thing, but they do make very, very similar patterns. Maybe this has already made an ABC, and now it's going down. I would definitely only be looking for shorts on gold too, 100%. So, like I always say, if you have not done so already, definitely join my Discord channel. It's 100% free to join. You never have to pay a dime if you do not want to. You can stay a free member for as long as you like. If you do want some extra help with your trading, then definitely check out my Patreon service. It comes with a trading course, which is 35 videos, 7.5 hours of content. It also comes with a morning meeting that I do every single morning before the London session, or at the open of London session at 9:15 a.m. We do about a 20 to 30-minute meeting every single day where I tell you what time frame I'm trading, what pairs I'm looking to trade, what direction I'm looking to trade, and what it looks like, what an entry will look like. Every single weekday morning we have that 20-minute, 30-minute meeting up for all the dollar pairs and all the yen pairs. And it comes with the trading course. It also comes with access to my private chats, members forecast area, twice a week Zoom meeting, and a bunch of educational information on Discord. So like I said, you can definitely join my Discord 100% for free, but it's not going to come with any of those benefits. If you do want any of those benefits, definitely check out the link in the chats and in the description. That is it for me today. I am going to call it a day right here. I will be on Discord off and on throughout the day. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of the day. And as always, happy trading and good luck to everybody.